Welcome, or welcome back to Gavin Reads It All. I have been inspired by the television show The Traitors to bring you a booktube series like no other. I have selected 10 anticipated books for my TBR, and 2 of my friends have secretly picked which 8 books will be faithfuls and which 2 books will be traitors. My job in this reading vlog is to find the 2 traitors hidden within my TBR. Every time I complete a book, I will be able to ask my friends if that book was a faithful or a traitor. This reading vlog will not end until I have successfully read and found the traitors. For every 2 books that I read, I will have the opportunity to complete a challenge. If I am successful in the challenge, I will be able to ask for a hint. If I fail the challenge, I don't get a hint, and I must read another 2 books before I can ask for a hint again. Will I be successful or will I fail miserably? This is TBR Traitors. Okay, so I might have to explain myself. So 2 days ago, like literally 2 days ago, my friends stayed at mine and they made me watch The Traitors, and I had never seen it before. If you do not know, The Traitors is it's like a game show, reality competition television show. And in the UK, it's hosted by Claudia Winkleman. And that is who I'm currently dressed as right now. A group of people get put into a castle, and 3 of those people are picked to be traitors. And the traitors have to secretly murder someone each night. And the rest of the people are called the Faithfuls. And they have to try and figure out who the traitors are. And there's usually a roundtable discussion where everyone gives their theories of like who they think is the traitor. And then they all vote someone off. And that person will reveal whether they were a faithful or a traitor. So yeah, it's really fun, and I'm literally telling you, I just watched it 2 days ago for the first time. 2 days. And look, I've already got the Claudia wig, the robe, I already had the liquid eyeliner. I don't need to tell you why. So when my friends here on Saturday, I did pick 10 books from my TBR that I'm really looking forward to reading, and I said, I'm going to go downstairs, you 2 talk amongst yourselves, pick 2 of these books to be a traitor, and take photos of each of the books, whether they are a faithful or a traitor, take photos of them, keep them, and then I am going to read these books one by one, and every time I finish a book, I will ask you, is this book a traitor or a faithful? And they're going to send me the photo of that book to prove if it was a faithful or a traitor. I'm probably explaining everything so badly, but within this stack of books, there are 2 traitors, and I genuinely have no idea which 2 they are. So I really do need to read, like, hopefully, like, not too many. I would like to try and get the traitors before I, like, complete the entire TBR, but I have a job on my hands. I'm not doing this entire vlog like this, by the way. I just don't want to put eyeliner on again, so I'm making the most of it. So the 10 books on my TBR in this video are The Wizard's Bakery by Bye-ong Mo, You'd Look Better as a Ghost by Joanna Wallace. Hi Ash, are you coming in? Are you wondering what the hell is Daddy doing this time? What is Daddy doing this time, eh? Oh, you're so cute. Ha 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 ha. Ah ha ha. What's your daddy doing? Am I being silly? Am I being silly? Do you know which book is a faithful and a traitor? Do you? Next, I picked Cubs and Campfires by Dylan Drakes, and you'll realise that I really did go for a mixture of things. I've got romance, I've got classic, I've got more romance, I've got lit RPG, I've got fantasy, I've got The Little Prince next by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I'll learn the pronunciation, don't worry. Crypt of the Moon Spider by Nathan Ballingrud. Automatic Noodle by Annalee Newitz. When the Tides Held the Moon by Venessa, Vida, Kelley. How to Defeat a Demon King in 10 Easy Steps by Andrew Rowe. Cursed Daughters by Oyinkan Braithwaite. And A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen. Now I need to think strategically. 1, I don't really want to get a traitor too early, because I do want this vlog to go on a little bit. I do actually want to read the books in this vlog, but I do want to catch them eventually. But I do want to try maybe knock out some faithfuls first, which is obviously like against what the actual show is about, The Traitors. But this is booktube, darling, and I do what I want. I did tell my friends that these 2 books are in my 26 books to read in 2026. So these 2, I think they might avoid making traitors, because they know I'm anticipating it, because I feel like they will want me to have a hard time figuring out which ones are the traitors. But then again, it could be a double bluff. They could put a traitor in here thinking that I will go a certain way, and they might actually want to get me out early. You know, I don't know. I don't know, but that's one of the reasons why I picked those two. And there isn't really that much of a rhyme or reason for some of the other books. This one, I'm just like dying to read. I've heard great things about. This one, I've heard more mixed things about, but I love the premise so much. So that's why I wanted to go for it. Somebody who says ghosts, but the reason is because she keeps killing them. I mean, just a genius, absolute genius. See, this one was hyped pretty recently. This one is a very shorty patootie that I could have knocked out in a single sesh. Cubs and Campfires, you know, I'm such an ally. I'm such an ally, so I put a gay romance on here. A Curse Carved and Bone I put on because I wanted to do this for an anticipated Emboss or Toss video, but I never got a chance to actually read it. So it would be nice to actually like knock a sequel out in this video. A tiny little children's classic and healing translated fiction. There is just a mass array of different things. And I'm just like, what will they have picked as traitors? But I don't think I need to worry about that just yet. I just need to pick my first book to read in this vlog. And I think I'm going to go with my gut, because like, I don't want to get a traitor just yet. I do think they will avoid my 26 books to read in 2026 because they know I'm anticipating them. So I think by starting with How to Defeat a Demon King in 10 Easy Steps might be the way. Because out of all of these, I think this is the one I'm the most excited to read. And I'm pretty sure I told them that. Which means they might think that I'm going to read it first, or they might have avoided giving it a traitor. I don't know. I don't know. This could backfire. This could actually be a traitor. I don't know. Anyway, I need to take off this eyeliner. Please do like the video if you enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you'd like to see more TBR traitors down below. And let's see if the first book that I read for this vlog is a faithful or a traitor. It's currently snowing. Don't know if you can see that. I'm on my way down to training now. Walking down. First proper session. But I was back on Friday. But, you know, it's a new week. New year. And it begins a new year of doing all of the fitness and health goals that I still have. But yeah, walking down in the snow is not going to be ideal. I just know there's going to be some falling over.
It's getting late. I'm making my way over to my favorite place. I gotta get my body moving, shake the stress away. I wasn't looking for nobody when you looked my way. Candidate, yeah. Do you know what just started? I just came here to party, and now we're rocking on the dance floor, acting naughty. Your hands around my waist, just let the music play. We're hand in hand, chest to chest, and now we're face to face. I wanna take you away, that's escaping through the music. DJ, let it play. I just can't refuse it, like the way you do this. I wanna take you away. I wanna take you away, that's escaping through the music. DJ, let it play. I just can't refuse it, like the way you do this. Keep on rocking to it. Please don't stop the music.
Oh, 7 minutes until some reading sprints, and I have not yet started How to Defeat a Demon King in 10 Easy Steps, but I do want to tell you what this is about. I have just been filming another video. I've been doing my 2025 reading and channel stats video, and it's taken a while to edit because I do include a lot of graphics, so I've only gotten about like, I think it was like 27, 28 minutes of it edited, and the raw footage came up to 1 hour and 20, but it's slowly coming down. It's now down to, I think, 1 hour, 8 minutes in total. I'm hoping to get it sub 1 hour. Fingers crossed we can actually do that, but I'll finish it off tomorrow. I don't want to edit while I'm live. It does make the computer lag, and I just kind of want to start and hopefully finish my first book for TBR Traitors, and I think I could end up finishing this during my reading sprints because this is only 228 pages long, 230 including the acknowledgements. I feel like I've mentioned what this book is about a million times recently because it was in my 26 books to read in 2026 and it was in my book haul at the end of December. So third time's the charm. This one is set in a world, it's a lit RPG, and it's set in a world where there is a demon king who is, I think, resurrected every 1,000 years, and there is also a hero who is reborn every 1,000 years to take down this demon king. So the demon king has been brought to life, and there isn't the hero reborn yet, and the people are taking it upon themselves to find a hero to stop the demon king. Yeah, demon king rises and conquers, and a hero is reborn 100 years later to defeat him. So that's like a 100-year reign of terror, but the people are like, we're not waiting 100 years for this bozo to feck off, and so they take it upon themselves. We follow you, show Sets out an ambitious plan, a 10-step plan. So I love that. I have heard that the audiobook for this is also fantastic. Kind of just like the Dungeon Crawler Call audiobooks, enhance the experience of reading Dungeon Crawler Call. So let's see if I can get hold of it. Yeah, unfortunately it's an Audible exclusive, but I still have credits left from before I cancelled. Wow, the audiobook is 5 hours and 28 minutes long. It says it's an Audible original. So I think this started as an audiobook and then got published as a physical book years later. I think the audiobook came out in 2020 and this got published last year in 2025. I think. I might be spreading misinformation. Who knows, maybe I'm a traitor. Also, I don't think I managed to get all of the mascara off. It's actually really hard to get liquid mascara off. Are you kidding me? It's really hard. So I think I got most of it off. There might be some residual mascara on my face. I don't think it looks that bad. Maybe I should wear it more often.
Baby, are you ready? 'Cause it's getting close. Don't you feel the passion ready to explode? What goes on between us, no one has to know. This is a private joke. Do you know what you started?
I totally forgot that I have a Legend of Zelda shirt, which I should definitely be wearing while I'm reading How to Defeat a Demon King in 10 Easy Steps. This is so Legend of Zelda coded, and I am actually 80 pages in from the first sprint for my members reading sprints, and I'm really enjoying this so far. I can definitely see the Legend of Zelda inspirations, and the main character is Yui, and I freaking love her. I love her determination so much. She is not the hero that needs to bring down the Demon King, but by God, is she trying her absolute best to do something? Because this is a world where people are so caught up in tradition that they're just waiting for this hero to come, and yet so many people are dying in the meantime. And they're like, yeah, I know, but like, we're waiting for this hero, like, you know, it's like written in the legend, and, you know, like, we have to wait for them. And like, Yui is like, I'm going to do something. So I kind of love that. I love her so much. I love that she has like different ideas. In fact, every single chapter is kind of like her step-by-step process in trying to become the hero and defeat the Demon King. So like step 1, be the legendary chosen hero. Step 2, unlock your latent heroic power. Step 3, obtain the hero sword. You know, like things like that. And it's so quick and easy to get through as well. And I do have the audiobook. It's such a good audiobook. And I do believe that this story started as an audiobook in 2020. And the audiobook narrator is doing a fantastic job. So quirky, so charismatic. And it's really bringing the story forward. I'm loving the world as well. Like, this is not a detailed book whatsoever. And it is in first person, so it is a little bit harder to describe everything when we have such a charismatic main character just giving us the story and telling us what she is doing in order to, like, become the hero to slay the Demon King. But, like, nothing is, like, really described. And, you know, I do love, though, that we have, like, shrines, just like in The Legend of Zelda. We went into our first dungeon as well. There were these, like, slime creatures that they had to destroy, human skeletons. And I love it as well because it's so... I think it's kind of critiquing video games sometimes as well. You know, when you're, you know, going into a room and there's, like, enemies in a different room, but they won't come to you because they're in a different room. And it's, like, some kind of game mechanic where they will only come at you if you enter that room. And so there's, like, a moment when the main character, as well as her companion Ken, and like they are there and she's like, well, why aren't they attacking? And he's like, there must be some kind of magic goddess blessing that is protecting us, kind of thing. And there's like a block as well that, you know, like in a video game you push the block forward and stuff, and then Ken is like, this must be some kind of thing. And then Yui is just like pushing the block and he's like, wait, how did you do that? And she's like, well, there's only like really one thing you can do with a block, you know what I mean? It's so funny. Like, so far it's been really funny. I am really taken in by the plot because I really do think that this main character Yui is doing a phenomenal job at trying to do something in a world that is doing nothing. Like, seriously, like the whole tradition thing is such a farce. And I just love the fact that Yui is like, I want to do something. And Ken is like, well, you can't because like the hero, you know, the hero has like green robes and you don't. And she's like, well, I could buy some fucking green robes, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just like ridiculous, but like in such a fun, entertaining way. I love the fact that there's mana as well. Some of it reminds me a little bit of Freyren because there is like mana to kind of have. And I love the inventory stuff as well. Some of that is explored, like powers and classes and stuff like that. But like, again, it's not that detailed. It doesn't really need to be. I'm just having a good time, a good, entertaining time. It's doing what it needs to do. Yeah, I love hearing about the Ranger class, the Monster Hunter class, Giant Hunter, Demon Hunter, Undead Hunter. It is allowing for a pretty vast world without going too in detail or too in depth with it. It does mean that maybe there might be more sequels in this world potentially. It feels like a video game. I will say that. It feels like a video game. She's able to put things in her inventory. She gains experience points, things like that. So if you enjoy video game type books, then this should hopefully be for you as well. I'm having a blast. Absolute blast. Not the best thing I've ever read, but it doesn't need to be. I need to do the dishes. I'm doing the second sprint right now. I'm going to continue listening to the audiobook. I am going to do my dishes because they really need it done. When my friends came on Saturday, like, oh my gosh. Like, it's not just all my friends who did this, but like, I have pretty much all of the dishes from then. So I'll definitely feel a lot better if I get them done. And I should hopefully get this book finished in the third sprint. That will at least make me feel a lot better because I feel like I've just been sitting down pretty much all of yesterday and today on the computer for the majority of it anyway. So it'll be nice to just like move around a little bit and still be able to listen to my story. So yeah, not the most glamorous, but I'm going to do some dishes now. This is what you watch TBR Traitors for. I have just finished my 6th book of the year, as you can see on my very factually accurate books read this year sign. And this is also my very first book to read for 26 books to read in 2026. So I can tick that trophy off as well. That is that complete. I literally just posted my 26 books to read in 2026 video today. It's been out for a few hours and I've already got the first book done. Oh my gosh, we're already in 2026. This is the energy we need for 2026. Anyway, I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4.5. It's not a 5-star. And you know what? I think maybe 4.5 is maybe a little bit too generous. However, I had a damn good time. I found this so fun and it still continued to be quite light. However, there were some, you know, really interesting developments by the end as well. It wasn't like completely, you know, fun and fancy free. There were some like more serious-ish things happening towards the end. It was still like very entertaining by the end, like still very fun. But yeah, I like that we were building to something. I like that we were questioning why we have to follow these guidelines. Why does everything have to be about tradition? And can't people just be a hero? Can't people just come in, you know, like heroes have failed in the past, so can't somebody who isn't a hero come in and try and succeed in their place? You know, there are some great things mentioned in this book that I really personally enjoyed. It continued to be funny and I love the scenes in the water temple as well. I thought they were really good. But yeah, I think I would have given this a 5-star if it was maybe just a little bit longer, if things were a little bit more described. I do think there is maybe a little bit too much vagueness when it comes to some of the overall, you know, imagery of this, and it would be great as well to maybe have a little bit more of an in-depth look into some of the magic systems in this and a lot of that. And great to switch my brain off today to just give it a read. I must say, like, the main character, Yui, is definitely one of my favorite main characters I've read this year. Again, I've already read 6 books, but so far such a standout. I still freaking love the fact that they took destiny into their own hands and they were like, if nobody else is going to do anything about it, well then I'm going to do something about it. So definitely a standout main character. I just really enjoyed it. I just really did enjoy it. And I would definitely recommend the audiobook. It's only 5.5 hours long, so I think you'll get through it so quickly and I hope you would enjoy your time reading it. But yeah, having said that, I finished. So now it's time to ask my friends a really serious question. This is going to be the hot seat for finding out the status of the books that I'm reading in this video. My TBR Traitors roundtable is right here. So, as I mentioned, I have finished How to Defeat a Demon King in 10 Easy Steps. So I have asked my friends to send me the photo that will reveal the result of my first read of this vlog of TBR Traitors 2026. And it won't even stand up. Oh wait, that'll do. I am ready to open the message and find out if this book was a faithful or a traitor. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't know if I can look though. I don't know if I can look. Oh, okay. Okay, I kind of expected it to be a faithful. I kind of expected it. Because I was like, I think it would be too obvious to make one of my 26 books to read in 2026 a traitor. Having said that though, I do have another book in my 26 books to read in 2026 that could be a traitor still. Cursed Daughters. That could be a traitor. But faithful. Faithful. Okay, so now we have 7 faithfuls and 2 traitors in our midst. We are whittling them down. But gasp. Gasp! I would like to maybe try and get a traitor on the next one and then see how we get there. Because again, I don't want this vlog to run too long. Obviously, you will want something different. But I think I'm going to try When the Tides Held the Moon by Venessa, Vida, Kelley next. Do I think they will have picked this as a traitor? I don't know. This will probably be a less obvious choice. I, again, told my friends that I'm excited to read this, as I'm excited to read any of the books on this TBR. So yeah, I do think this is going to be my next one. And this is set in 1910s New York. It's gay. It's between a human and a merman. Oh, yeah, 1910s New York, we follow Benny, and there's a mythic merman stolen from the salty banks of the East River, and this merman is called Rio. And I think it's just a beautiful gay love story after that. It has these beautiful illustrations in it. I love chapter headings and titles and pages that look like this, but I'm kind of hoping now that this is a traitor. I just want to get one. Like, getting one under my belt now would be fantastic. I'm getting my hair cut at 2 p.m, so I thought I would show you what it looks like now. It is very long, well, it's getting long anyway, and it would be nice to tidy it up and maybe get a little bit shorter, because I feel like I only just went to get my hair cut like 4 weeks ago. Seriously, I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks ago, and usually I take 2 to 3 months between haircuts, so this is a problem. So I want to go to the town soon. It is only just after 11 a.m. My appointment's at 2, so I might end up in a town, maybe have a little look into some bookshops for a little bit as well. I'm going to sit with the coffee first, because I've not gotten in from training and my mum came as well. So I'm going to sit down with coffee for a bit, maybe go to town about 12, have a little browse. Sounds pretty good to me.
Well, pick me up with golden hand. Oh, me say, oh, me tell you to run. On the way, on the way. Nobody say, nobody on. Well, I would like to hold my little hand. How we will run, how we will cry. I would like to hold my little hand. How we will run, how we will crawl. Send me in my way, send me in my way, send me in my way, send me on my way, send me in my way, send me in my way, send me on my way.
And this is how it now looks. It's a little bit shorter than I usually go for, but I'm hoping this lasts me a little bit longer. And I do like it. I do like it. I managed to get home, wash it, and I think it looks good. I did do a little bit of book shopping in town. I needed to get the new Spy Family volume so I can do a video for my manga channel reading volume 14 and 15. So volume 15 just came out, so I managed to grab that. And I've been reading When the Tides Held the Moon, and I am 150 pages in, and I'm really liking this so far. Like, to the point where if it keeps this up, if it keeps being as lyrically written as it is, and the illustrations as well, if we keep those up, could potentially end up being a 5-star. I'm honestly loving it. It's given Greatest Showman. I am really loving the main character, Benny. I love the fact that the author set him up as a character. In the very first chapter of this, he doesn't seem to have a whole lot of power, and he seems to be like a little bit used by the people around him, and I'm really hoping that we get to see this massive character arc where we see Benny get that voice and get that power back. And it seems like a lot of things that are happening are happening to him. I feel like there's a lot of guilt there as well with Benny. There's a lot of guilt that is dragging him down, especially when it comes to the merman that he ends up meeting. So there is like this sideshow proprietor person who has kind of like hired Benny now. And so this is where it's getting like Greatest Showman territory. He's met the people who are part of this sideshow and they are considered like the freaks and stuff. And I am honestly loving the found family element of that too. Oh my gosh, like I'm falling in love, especially Matthias. I absolutely love him. Like, out of all of the people that we have met, I think he is like literally an absolute sweetheart, an absolute goddamn sweetheart. Oh, I think this has to be one of my favorite illustrations as well. Yeah, so these are kind of the characters. I am only getting like little brief parts with them. There are quite a few, so it's nice to sort of gradually get them. But yeah, I do love how it's feeling like a found family. Oh, this illustration too. Honestly, if you're going to read this, please read it physically. There are just so many beautiful illustrations throughout. And so yeah, Benny's been dealt a really bad hand in life, in seeing him just go through so much. So he comes from Puerto Rico, and every time he introduces himself, people think he's Portuguese, but yeah, he's Puerto Rican. He speaks a lot of Puerto Rican Spanish as well, and I love those moments too. It really makes it feel so authentic to him, and he's like really tried to get a good life for himself, but things are just like not really panning out. It is the 1910s after all. It is New York City in that time, but he's really worked hard to get where he was as like a blacksmith, and still things don't really go his way. People like to take advantage, but I do think the story picks up when Benny meets the merman. Oh, and I absolutely love, oh my gosh, the Traitors is starting in 8 minutes. Oh my gosh. Right, so yeah, I will hurry this along. There is a new episode tonight, so I'm very excited to watch it. Oh, there's been quite a few moments as well when I've just kind of went a little bit, with their conversations, like Benny's in Rio's, which is the name that Benny has given the merman. And, oh, here it is. Rio, on the other hand, the sight of him ripped up everything I thought I understood about creation. One look at him and you had to wonder if the Bible had been selling God short this whole time. Oh, and he calls him perfect. And then Rio was like, you think I'm perfect? It is one of those things where it's like an oop moment. And there's been a couple of times, and I'm just honestly loving some of their interactions. There's definitely something a lot deeper there because something happened when he first met the merman. And so, like, I'll not say exactly what it is because that could be considered a spoiler. But there is a connection. And this connection is actually kind of beautiful, especially in the merman parts as well. So we have parts with Rio as well. It's only like a couple of pages where we get Rio's perspective. And there are elements to that is brought into it that connects to Benny and his connection with Benny. So I think it's going to be a great read. I think I could end up giving this a 5-star. I don't want to jinx it. I just hope we see this huge character arc for Benny. I want him to be able to stand up for himself. I want him to be braver. He does have the right morals. It's just he isn't able to just vocalize and make a stand just yet. So I'm rooting for him.
You are the secret traitor. That secret traitor will work alone.
So, yeah, for the most part, I think this is partially on me, actually, for not. Maybe, did I read the synopsis? I think I did, but the synopsis just didn't lead you to think that this was going to be a dramatic, filled with drama type book. I didn't get those vibes from the synopsis. I actually got more of epic vibes from the synopsis than anything. So it's more on me for maybe not doing a bit more research into the book, but I don't like to spoil myself like that, But also, I've never heard anyone in a review say that this book is of those vibes. Like...
Oh, I have just read the sweetest thing, honestly. Like, we know this is a romance between a human and a merman, so this is not a shock to anyone, hopefully, anyway. But, oh my god, this was so sweet. Rio, I whispered out of breath and not from wheezing. You made me feel like I'm kissing the tides. Benigno, he whispered back, you make me feel like I'm holding the moon. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, honestly, there's been so many great, sweet moments, while also keeping quite serious as well, because again, like, this is a time period that does not treat, well, Puerto Ricans and queer people very well, and we are still exploring that. We are still seeing the fear of that through Benny, and I'm just, again, like, I can't stop reading. I'm really eating this up. I came back from training a few hours ago now. This is like my third coffee, by the way, as well. I just want to drink loads of coffee today. Even if it keeps me up tonight, I genuinely don't care. Like, I just want to just spend the day getting warm. It's been so cold. Walking to and from the gym has been making me so freaking cold that I'm keeping the heating on like low, but on. And it's making the house like really nice and toasty. So like I'm just doing all the things to like keep me comfortable. Trying so hard not to get a cold again. I mean, it would help if I wore a hat and gloves when I leave the house, wouldn't it? I don't think it'll actually take me too much longer to finish this. So I do think we're going to finish our second book today. And yeah, oh, I'm just really loving it. I think it's so good. Loving the way it's written. I think it's very beautiful. I am annotating. Benny, like I mentioned this before, he doesn't have a whole lot of power to begin with, and I'm slowly starting to see him try, but there are like still some like frustrating things with Benny that I understand. But yeah, you know, when it involves, you know, someone else though, it's kind of like I'm frustrated at him because I want the best for him, absolutely, but I also want the best for the people around him. And sometimes it's not really translating well, his intentions. Because, yeah, like, I do think he still needs to be a little bit more brave. But I, like, as a reader, it is a little bit frustrating because I'm just like, okay, like, come on, like, be honest about this or be honest about that. But, you know, we are exploring a little bit of, like, how scary it is to come out. And we've seen an example of that as well in Benny's past that has prevented him from being able to be honest with people. So again, I get it. I understand. Like, I'm not holding this against Benny too much. But you know, when you're just like, oh, come on. Like, I'm rooting for you. I really am. I'm rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? I do like the little touches of getting Rio's perspective, even though they're not really that deep. Or like, well, they are deep. Like, I feel like everything that Rio says is pretty deep. It's quite lyrical. And there's a lot of metaphors between Benny and Rio. Like, Rio is actually in this tank. He is, like, literally caged. And then there is Benny, who is trying to help him, but yet the world around him, society, is keeping him caged. So he has the metaphorical cage, while Rio has the real cage. So it's like, how do we free them both? How do we free them in a way that will mean that both will survive afterwards? Because it's feeling a little bit dangerous, you know? I'm worried about what will happen if and when Benny helps save Rio. And guys, again, like the illustrations are so good. Who illustrates this? Does it say? It doesn't say on the cover. Maybe it says, it doesn't say on the title page. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the author actually illustrates them too. It says cover design, illustration, and interior illustrations by Venessa, Vida, Kelley. Oh my gosh, I literally thought for a second there, I was like, how could you not credit the illustrator, like, anywhere? But it's actually the author. The author actually illustrated this too. Oh my gosh, amazing. I love that. I love that so much. So we are seeing directly into the author's mind with these illustrations. So good. So, I'm just gonna, like, I don't really have too much more to say. I'm just gonna have my coffee, my third one in like 3 hours, and continue with my cozy ambience. Ash and Tobu are asleep upstairs in my bed. They always are sleeping in my bed. I think they're getting a little bit cold as well, so I'm trying to keep the heating on as much as possible for them too. I hope you all keep them warm. Okay, I think I am going to give this one a 5-star. It's not a confident 5-star though. It's one of those 5 stars that I'm giving because I did really love my time reading it and I enjoyed it to the end. But it's like, I've got no reason not to give it a 5-star. Because I don't really have any criticisms, I don't really have any complaints. But I don't know if it's like 100% a 5-star. I'm giving it a 5-star though. Because I am trying to be a lot more open to giving 5 stars in 2026. Because yeah, if there's no reason not to, then why not? So I did love it by the end. I really did. The ending, like, I would say like the last quarter of this book was very intense. And it allowed for a lot more plot to really kick in. Because I do think maybe like, yeah, maybe one of the reasons why I wouldn't normally give this a 5-star is because there was a lot of slowness to the middle section of this book. But it was very necessary for Rio and Benny to get to know one another and have these conversations and see the parallels between them. That really does help to enhance their romance. And it was really, really sweet. Like, there were so many sweet moments. I was so worried for, like, yeah, the last quarter of this. We do have a pretty villainous character who I did not like, and that made it that much more exciting though. So I do really appreciate the fact that I feel like a lot of characters in this were there for a reason. There was a lot of purpose to them. So this book was not filled with the two-dimensional filler characters. I do feel like a lot of the characters had emotional weight to them, and they were there to like kind of serve themselves, but to also serve like the greater narrative. So it didn't feel like it was just filled with useless, nameless characters. It was actually like really, really well done in that regard too. Again, I do think it's very well written and beautifully illustrated. So this is I think my first 5-star novel of 2026. I have given a 5-star to a manga volume, but in terms of novels, this is my first 5-star of the year. So can you imagine if this turns out to be a traitor? All right, back at the round table. Okay, I'm going to say if I need to banish When the Tides Held the Moon, if it was a traitor or a faithful. I saw that I got a message. Let's open it together. Oh, I'm scared to look. I'm scared to look. I'm really hoping, really hoping it is a traitor. Like, I just want to get one under my belt. I would feel so much better about the trajectory of this, that I'm not taking way too long to find them. So, oh my god, I've got 13 messages. They've sent the photo and they're chatting away. I don't know why. I don't know why. Let's have a look. Oh, oh my god. Oh, it's a bloody faithful again. Damn it. It's a bloody faithful. And yeah, one of the reasons why they're chatting so much is that my friend, Adam, also read this, like literally yesterday. And today, I think, he finished it before me. So he must have liked the look of it and thought, you know what, I'm going to read it too. Ah, another bloody faithful. That's two. 2 faithfuls found, no traitors found. I mean, the odds are getting better, you know. 6 faithfuls and 2 traitors to find. So what is that, like now a 20% chance of getting a traitor? So, you know, we'll have to look at the positives. But I can now do a challenge and ask for a hint, which I do think I'm going to need at this point. I'm going to need a hint. And looking at their messages as well, my friend Mark said, the traitors are mocking you. That's 2 in a row now. You need to up your game. You little shits. Okay, so yes, I need to do a challenge now in order to see if I can get a hint. And the challenges I'm going to do in this video are going to be requiring me to wear the drunk goggles, which I have not worn in like 2 to 3 years or something at this point. So I'm going to put on the drunk goggles and I need to do a little bit of a scavenger hunt in my library room. Now, I'm going to show you something. And yeah, in here, hi, I do have on the computer screen a random choice generator. So a couple of years ago, when I moved into this place, actually, I did ask on my Instagram stories because I was going to do a scavenger hunt while I was unpacking and stuff, but that never happened. But I still saved all of the prompts and like requirements of what to find in my library room. And I decided to save them, and now I have them in a random choice generator here. So I do have a good few, and it does mean that I won't know exactly what is going to come up because it will be chosen randomly. And yeah, I just feel like I'm going to fail at this, but I am going to give myself 3 minutes. 3 minutes to find 10 items. Let's get back to the library room. Hello there. I've got my drunk goggles. Oh my god. Oh, it has been such a long time. Let's hope that I can do this. Let's hope I can do this and I can ask for a hint because apparently I really need it. 2 faithfuls, no traitors so far. So let's put these on. Oh, wow. Yep. Everything is incredibly blurry right now. How is the... Oh, hang on. Ugh. Doesn't really go very well with my cape. Right, try again. Okay, I think that's better. Yep. Right, I can't really see. Everything is doubled. Everything is doubled. I'm gonna have to get like really up close and personal to find, you know, everything. So I think the way out is this way. Yeah. Yeah. Right, I can just feel my way around. Right, okay, here's the desk. Oh, I need to do the timer as well. So, with 3 minutes, let's start the timer, okay? Go. Okay, right. I need to like really go in there, choose randomly. Did it choose a random one there? No? Wait, why is it not? It's not choosing anything. Choose randomly, come on. Oh my god, why is it not choosing anything? It's crashed. It's crashed. Oh, fuck. It's not working. Why is it not working? Reset. Okay, I think I fixed it. I think. Anyway, let's try again. Let's start from the top. Start from the top. Right, now then. Timer again. 3 minutes. Go. Okay. Right, please work this time. Please work this time. Choose randomly. Choose randomly. What does it say? Where did it go? Where did it go? Random choice. Where? Oh, red in 2024. Okay, I couldn't see where that was there. I couldn't see where that was. Okay, I hope everything is working right now. Okay, red in 2024. Red in 2024. Did I read any of these in 2024? What did I read in 2024? What was in my best books of 2024? Maybe... yeah, I read Yellowface. I read Yellowface by R. Kwong in 2024. Okay, that's one. That's one. 9 more to go. Alright, choose randomly. Title beginning with W? Title begin with W. Title begin with W. Oh, hello, Tobu. Or Ash. Title beginning with W. Witcher. That'll work. That'll definitely work. So that's 2. Okay. Choose randomly. Yellow Book, shit! Oh, Yellowface would have worked for that. Yellow Book. Hopefully I can just spot a spine. Yellow Book. Is like an Emily Wilde book? Is that yellow? Would you say that's yellow? I don't know if it's like yellow or just more like beige. Oh, hang on, what's this? Her Majesty's Royal Cousin. That one. Yeah. Right, okay. There's 3, I think. Okay. Random. House on cover. House on cover. House. Oh, what's this? Delicate Dream Department. Oh no, that's more like a department store. I wouldn't say that's a house. Can I count it? Can I count? I think I can. Okay. Oh, what does that mean? Wait, I've got less than a minute. I've definitely failed here. A 3-star read, a 3-star read, a 3-star read, a 3-star read, a 3-star reader. Just anything. Oh shit. Yeah, out there screaming. I'm sure I gave it 3 stars. Yep. Yep. A sign book. Grady. I bought this recently. It's signed. It's Joe Hill. It's signed. Oh, it's signed. Another one. Come on. Modern Classic. Al McNichol. I would say it's a Modern Children's Classic. Where's M? I'm sure it's like right here. Oh yeah. Modern Children's Classic. I got it. Next one. Choose randomly. Wait, House on Cover. I've just had that one. Oh, fuck. Okay. I get it. I definitely needed longer than 3 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7. I was supposed to be 10 in 3 minutes. So I failed. I don't get to ask for a hint. Okay, so no hint for the next one. But I just need to finish 2 more books and then I can ask for a hint again. Well, I need to do another challenge and see if I can ask for a hint. My cats are currently running ragged. I need to change this as well because I've now read 7 books so far in 2026. And 7 is my lucky number as well. So the fact that my 7th book was a 5-star. Cinema. 7. Beautiful. So I need to try and think tactically now of like what they would pick as a traitor. Like I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. And I might pick The Little Prince next because when I was taking these off the shelves, one of my friends made a hocus pocus joke to this one and said he has a little woman. And so I think I would have put this book on their radar. And maybe because they made that joke, maybe there's going to be picked as a traitor. I don't know. I'm literally grasping at straws here. I have no clue. So I think maybe The Little Prince. And this is something that, it's only 6 p.m. I think I can get through it today, get another one ticked off. Might even finish it before the next episode of The Traitors, which is airing at 8 p.m. tonight. And I do have a couple of books that I'm saving for Winterween because I'm doing public Winterween sprints tomorrow with Gabby and Jan. So I've got a couple of books that I'm saving for that. So there's only 5 of the books that I wanted to pick today. And I do think this one stood out to me a little bit more. So I think I'm just going to go for this one. Like, what have I got to lose? Other than Another Faithful. And I genuinely have no clue what this is about because I've never read it before. And this is such a classic. This is such a children's classic. I've heard people absolutely love this. I feel like this is one of those books that I should have read years ago. The Traitors was so explosive tonight. Holy crap. To think, literally, a week ago, I was not even watching it. And now I'm obsessed. Like, that episode I just watched, jeez. Oh my god, it's Traitor versus Traitor. Anyway, I finished The Little Prince after the episode. I'd read about like 90 pages and then completed it with the last 40 pages. It's so short, so brief. Quite a few illustrations as well. And this was so sweet, like so charming, but it also left like this little hole inside of me that I'm just like questioning life a little bit. I'm questioning adulthood a little bit. So yeah, this is about the Little Prince, and it tells of his adventures going like from planet to planet, like really, really small planets, like asteroids, and telling just like different stories, like very, very short stories of like some of the people he meets along the way. Like there was a king on one of the asteroids. There was a drinker on another one. There was like a geologist and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed some of the conversations that were being had because this does read like a children's story, but it feels like it's so much like deeper with like what it's trying to say. Like there was one who was trying to like own the stars. And when the Little Prince was like, well, like, how do you own it? And he's like, oh, I write it down on a piece of paper and I put it in the bank kind of thing. And it's like, oh, that's ownership kind of thing. I don't know, like, there was just like such a charming, childlike way of like looking at things, almost like seeing adults in a way, but like through a child's lens. And sometimes like it can look a little bit ridiculous what, you know, like say a king who rules over all, and the Little Prince is questioning like, well, what is it that you're actually like ruling over? Like and stuff like that. There were just like some really interesting questions that I think ties to a lot of human needs, like a human need to have control, a human need to take ownership of things, a human need to feel like there is someone there. And yeah, like there's a lot to do with like loneliness and complexity there, but also like the beauty in the world. Like there's just like so much packed into this. It was actually so surprising. I was really like touched by the fact that the Little Prince was looking after this flower as well on his asteroid, like his planet, and kind of like not taking that for granted and sort of looking after things like that. I don't know, like that really spoke to me too. There was a line, it was something like, the eye is blind, you have to look with your heart kind of thing. That was really beautiful. Here it is. But the eyes are blind, one must look with the heart. And yeah, it's just one about sadness. And oh my gosh, it did make me feel a little bit emotional. I mean, by the end as well, like saying goodbye and stuff. Like, oh, that was actually so emotional. Oh, yeah, so I mean, I'll give it 4 stars. I don't think this is a 5-star for me. I think if maybe I read this when I was younger, maybe at a different time in my life, maybe I would have given this a 5-star. But like, yeah, it can come across as a little bit random a lot of the time. It can come across as very, very random. But unpicking it, And seeing it, like, I do love a lot of the commentary. I love that there's a lot of critique of adults, like, not being able to see what children can say these days. Like, they are maybe a little bit too serious. And sometimes children have to explain things to adults. So the way that the narrator is talking to us directly, like, oh, you know, do forgive adults for not understanding. Sometimes they just need things to be explained to them, kind of thing. It's just such a really great way of critiquing adulthood while preserving childhood and those childhood values that I think we lose as we get older. Yeah, it's when they're saying like what adults actually, or like grown-ups actually value. I've seen a lovely house made of pink brick with geraniums in the windows and doves on the roof. They aren't able to picture such a house. You must say, I saw a house that cost 100,000 francs. Then they cry out, oh, how pretty. So it's showing you exactly what adults are prioritizing. And it's not really, or the grown-ups are prioritizing, it's not really the best. It's not put them in a good light. So that is how they are. You must not hold it against them. Children have to be very indulgent towards grown-ups. I just love the way it like speaks to the reader. I do. I think it's great. It is great. Not my personal favorite, but I can definitely see why a lot of people love this. And yeah, I do love the imagery. I love the going from like planet to planet and meeting the king and the banker and stuff like that. It was so good. It was so good. Really glad I read it. And again, so quick. So quick and easy to get through. And I've had this on my shelf for years and I never got to it until now. So it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful to be able to do it. Okay, right. It is now time to reveal whether or not the little prince was a faithful or a traitor. Really hoping third time is the charm. Really hoping so. Okay. Yeah, let's open the message. Let's open the message. Oh God. Oh God, please, little prince, please. Be a little traitor, please, please, please. Oh. Oh my God, I'm so bad at this. I am so bad at this. What the hell? Oh. Well, faithfuls, you've banished the little prince, but is it faithful or is it traitor? It's a faithful. It's the third faithful. I really, really need, I need to get the next one. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I think the vlog is probably like an hour at this point and 0 traitors found. I really needed that hint today. Obviously, I needed that hint. Wow, like what would they have picked? What would they have picked as traitors? Are they trying to think maybe the most unassuming ones? Because I thought, oh, maybe they'll pick something like so pretty and lovely, and it obviously can't be a traitor. Right, we need to reconvene. I'm trying to remember what I was like when I was picking these books in the first place. I know I said this was a 26 books to read in 2026, so I put a lot of emphasis on this one. I said this was Norse mythology inspired, and they love Norse mythology, and I said this is a sequel that I'm looking forward to. The other ones, I don't really think I said too much of. I just pulled them off the shelves. And I don't think they made any notes on them. So there's probably 2 traitors amongst these 5. And yeah, I'm doing these 2 for Winterween tomorrow. Because I think Winterween does start tomorrow. So I might try and read Crypt of the Moon Spider before the reading sprints. Hopefully it's a traitor. And then I'll go into You Look Better as a Ghost for the reading sprints. That could be my plan, because I didn't really mention anything about these 2 to them. So there's no heat on them. They might think they're quite unassuming. But then again, same with these 3. Like, oh my God, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue. I need to sleep on it, I think. Yeah, I need to sleep on it. Happy first day of Winterween. I have my shirt on. I'm so excited for the sprints tonight with Gabby and Jan. It's been ages since I've done like proper public sprints. And I think it's about time. I think it's about time we brought some of those back. So I'm excited that Gabby's going to be hosting and I'm more excited doing all the work. I will say though, it's happening during tonight's episode of The Traitors. So I'm going to be like, you know what guys, I'm just going to dip for an hour. I'll be right back. Because there's no way I can wait to watch tonight's episode of The Traitors. It's too good. It is too good. If you watch the end of episode 5 of the current season in the UK, you'll know exactly why. But yeah, it's all I've been thinking about all night. I was like, oh my God. So yeah, it's currently 2 p.m. and I have myself a decaf because it's been so cold and rainy that I kind of want to continue drinking hot drinks, but I don't really want to have full coffees because I don't want to be up too late tonight, even though I don't have training tomorrow. I kind of fucked my back as well. I mean, not just from carrying this episode of TBR Traitors, but because of the stuff I've been doing in the gym lately. I had a big red mark on my back. And then I had my sports massage today as well. We're just gassing now, Had my sports massage today as well. He did a little bit of acupuncture and my back is still like a brick. My back is just not untensing. I don't know what's wrong with it. I really don't. So we're going to continue working on it. We'll see how we get on there. But I'm excited that it's Winterween. So I'll be doing Winterween during this vlog. I won't be doing a separate Winterween vlog, but I do have a couple of books that'll fit the prompts. And I'm so glad because I did just finish Crypt of the Moon Spider by Nathan Ballingrud. And this one will fit. Read a book with red on the cover. And as you can see, there's some gorgeous red on the cover. But I didn't really love this all that much. I think I'm going to give it a 2-star. I didn't really... The thing is, though, it's very bizarre, very weird, but in a way that, like, because I do sometimes like stuff like that, but it was very nonsensical in a way, and I just finished this and I was like, what was the point? Like, why did I actually read this? Like, I could have lived my life without it. But this is set in 1923, and we follow Veronica. She's been put into this kind of, like, insane asylum thing that's on the moon. Like, it's 1923, they're taking these rocket trips to the moon, where there is, like, this melancholy house where there are doctors who can work on you and stuff like that. So we have that going on. And don't get me wrong, that is very interesting. I have actually read a book by Nathan Ballingrud before called The Strange, and I actually kind of like that one. So I kind of knew what to expect with the writing style going into this, because he does have a little bit of a, you know, like there's a couple of things missing in the narrative, but as a reader you kind of have to make the leap yourself. And I find it so funny that, so the main character Veronica, her husband is the one who's like taking her to this house, and he says like something that he gets annoyed by about her is that sometimes she will talk to you as if she's in the middle of a conversation and you have to kind of guess what the hell is going on. I feel like that's the entire structure of this book. It just felt like things were happening and I didn't really know what was going on because nothing was kind of like built into it. Like nothing was like really led into it. It felt very mechanical and robotical. Is robotical a word? It felt very robotic. Like the dialogue, especially dialogue, was just so robotic. And I was just trying to envision it. And I was like, I can't really envision this. And I'm the kind of reader who can play the book like a movie in my head. And the amount of times like my imagination just kind of like shifted because of what was being said. And I was like, I can't pinpoint how the hell I'm supposed to envision this book. And even like some of the scarier parts with like the spiders crawling on the brain, and because like there is a really fascinating thing about this moon in particular, with there being like this forest and there being a massive spider that once lived there. There's like a legend, and we have like the scholars who are kind of serving the spider over the years, and there's like webs. It is good in terms of like some of the visuals with the spiders, but it never really goes all the way there. I was actually expecting this to have a lot more like horror to do with the body, and don't get me wrong, there's definitely something about like the brain and stuff that I'll not go too in depth with that is rather gnarly and horrific, but because of the way this is written, I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel the tension, I didn't feel the fear. It was a lot of chat to begin with Veronica and her doctor, and there is definitely big, important and dark messages about like unaliving oneself, for instance, and trying to do the same to others. And there's just like, I don't know, like, I just didn't really like it all that much. Didn't love the characters like at all. Like none of the characters I even like rooted for, cared for. This is a very short novella. There's only 5 chapters. So of course it's not really going to be able to go too in depth with everything. But still, I stand by what I said before about it feeling like you're in the middle of a conversation and you just kind of have to guess what the hell is going on and guess what it's doing. Which again, like can be very well done. It can, but I just didn't think it was really that well done in this, in my opinion. So I'm sorry. But yeah, 2-star, just very underwhelming. And you know what? I got this from the Abominable Book Box was it last year? Or in 2024, I think I got this from the Abominable Book Box. And I ended up like cancelling a lot of book boxes at the start of 2025, end of 2024. And I cancelled this one, and I'm kind of glad I did, because it seems like nearly every single book that I've read from that book box, I have not enjoyed, like, at all. Not a testament to the book box. I'm sure the book box has had amazing picks, but I seem to have just fallen very unlucky with the picks I ended up getting. So that's not great, but I'm glad that I don't have very many book boxes now, because I do think now in the grand old year of 2026, I feel like we've kind of moved beyond the need for like book boxes, kind of. Like, not every book box. Like, I'm still in love with my Broken Binding, my Fairy Loot. I'm still in love with like my specific boxes, the ones that are like more catered. So I do the Fairy Loot Epic Fantasy, for instance. I love the ones where it's more catered like that. I don't like when it's too general. So like just a general horror, like the Abominable Book Box, there's just too many factors that may contribute to you getting a book that you will not enjoy. So having those hyper-specific book boxes, yes, love, but I don't know, my track record with this one just hasn't been good at all. Okay, I think this is actually the first banishment we've had during the day, because again, it's been getting so dark so quickly still. I cannot wait for spring. Anyway, it is now time to find out if Crypt of the Moon Spider is a faithful or a traitor. Can you please reveal yourself? Okay, my friends have messaged, and I said, if this one is not a traitor, I'm cancelling the series. I swear, I cannot be having this much bad luck. 10 messages. 10 messages. Okay. Crypt of the Moon Spider is a... Yes! Yes! Oh my god, I got one. Oh god, I was doubting myself. I was doubting myself. Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, yes. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm so happy. I am so happy that I finally got a traitor. And it was a little bitch and all. It was the 2-star one as well. Oh my god. Yeah, it's my least favourite one so far. Watch the other traitor be one of the books that I end up giving a really bad rating as well. Ah, could you imagine? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, thank fuck. So now that I found a traitor, it does mean, like, I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but it's only if I get 2 faithfuls in a row, I can do a challenge and ask for a hint. So now I don't have the capabilities to ask for a hint for the next book. So that's fine. I feel like we've gotten one. We only have one more to find in these 6 books. One more to find. So yeah, I've got Winter Weensprint soon. But like, they're not for another, was it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Not for another like 5 hours. But I could make a good start on this beforehand. Because like, there's literally like nothing else I want to do but read now. Like, I'm telling you, even though this is the stupidest series in the world, it's making me so excited to read. And again, like, 2026 has to be the year that we follow our passions and make ourselves excited for reading. Even if we have to gamify our TBR. Even if we have to do silly things like this. So, oh my god, I'm so happy. I would love to get an audiobook, because I haven't really done like just an audiobook, and I do have the Lego Disney Castle that I started last weekend with my friend when he came to mine. I still have a lot of that to do. I started doing it more as well in my 25 books reading 2025 vlog, but that's the vlog I stopped filming for this one. I will go back to that one, but I'm just like, should I continue doing the Lego Disney Castle? Because I really want to do some Lego, actually. One of my hobbies, you know, one of my main hobbies is doing Lego, so I could continue to do that. Oh, I could just sit down and just read this. What do I have as an audiobook? There are definitely some that I can get of these audiobooks from Libby and Spotify that are available to me where I don't have to like pay for them. I also have a couple of unlocks on Everend that I could use. So Automatic Noodle and Cursed Daughters and The Wizard's Bakery and Cups and Campfires and A Curse Carved in Bone and You Look Better as a Ghost are all available on Everend as well. I have 3 unlocks before January 18th, and then I lose the unlock, so I could... Wow, okay. I could do any of them. So I could actually just make a start on You'd Look Better as a Ghost, because it is on Everend, and I can unlock it and make a start. Maybe I could do some like... Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm so reinvigorated. Could you imagine if I get 2 traitors in a row, though? Could you imagine? Although I feel like they wouldn't do 2 horrors / thrillers as traitors. I imagine if they're going to do another traitor, they will pick something that looks more light. So I think it could be one of these 3, actually. Cups and Campfires, Automatic Noodle, or The Wizard's Bakery. Because these are very unassuming. They look very nice and lovely. That could be my next play. That could be, I do really want to read this today for Winterween. But you know what? I think it could be one of these three. There's a part of me that's like, should I see if I can try? No, I don't think they'd make another really short book because they made a tiny book, a Traitor. I don't think they would make another tiny book, a Traitor. They would probably go for something a little bit bigger, so one of these two potentially. If I'm right, if it's one of these two, you owe me. You owe me $100. Since this vlog is actually going to go up before my 25 Books Reading 2025 vlog, I need to show you some of the new things in the kitchen. So I'll just delete the footage from that vlog because I would prefer you to see in this one. But I am currently doing the washing because I'm so adult. But one of the reasons why I'm very proud of it is because for Christmas, my mum bought me a dryer. So I have a dryer now. So this will be the first time I'm using it because I've been accumulating my laundry for the past, well, 2 weeks ever since Christmas happened. So yeah, I just can't believe she got me a freaking dryer. So I'm so excited to actually like use it for the first time. So that load is finishing in 3 minutes. So I'll be using it. But this is also the progress I've made with the Lego Disney Castle as well, which it might end up living on there if my dryer doesn't, you know, shake about so much. And my mum also got me a Ninja coffee machine for Christmas too. So my coffee machine is just so different and I've been using it, I've been loving it. But for now, we're going to go into the living room while the washer finishes. So I can talk to you about You Would Look Better as a Ghost, because I am 129 pages in to it. I need to turn off my ambience as well, because it's quite loud. Right, I am liking this, but I am resenting the audiobook. I really don't like the audiobook at all. So when I start doing these sprints, which will be happening in just over half an hour with Gabby and Jan, I want to switch to just physically reading this. I can't do the audiobook. It's ruining it for me. It's just complete. The audiobook narrator, I don't think it's doing a very good job. Oh, that's my washing now done. I will tend to that in a second. Yeah, I hate the voices that the audiobook narrator is putting on for some of the characters. So I haven't even told you what this is about, but the one premise that I freaking loved that made me pick this book up is this line here. I have a gift. I see people as ghosts before they die. Of course, it helps that I'm the one killing them. And so that just made me so excited to read this because I was like, that's brilliant. It's barely been like touched upon really. There have been a couple of unhinged murder scenes from the main character. She's called Claire and she is a bit of a vigilante. Like she is killing people who have kind of wronged her. So like, I mean, did they deserve to die? I mean, I can't be the judge, jury, executioner of those people. But, you know, I do like seeing this unfold because I'm very intrigued to see if this is something that she will be able to get away with. And I do like a good unhinged woman, you know, kind of moment. So I'm kind of rooting for her. And there was some interesting developments by the end of like, what, chapter 4, chapter 5? So I was like, okay, like even though I'm resenting the audiobook, I'm going to say this through because I really like the story. And obviously I wanted to do like some things around the house. I did some tidying up, did my laundry as you saw. I also shaved as well. I was getting a little bit unruly. So I was like, right, I'm just going to listen to the audiobook while I do some odd jobs around the house. And I was honestly invested. There is a lot going on outside of like the killings, but those things are just not interesting me in the slightest. We do have Claire coming to a grief group, like a counseling group, and I'm telling you, like the characters in that counseling group are so freaking annoying. And oh my gosh, I hated the audiobook narrator's voice for Florence. Yes, there's a character called Florence in this. If you do not know, I have an arch nemesis in my local library called Florence. Hate her, can't stand her, she's awful, she's a bitch. And yeah, the voice that the audiobook narrator gives Florence was so annoying. But even then, like some of the other characters in that group are very annoying. And a lot of the times I just don't really root for the main character either because she's just not great. She makes a lot of random comments about people's weight as well. So I'm like, fair enough, kill people. But can we please tone it down with the comments on people's weight? You know what I mean? I'm drawing the line there. But this is let me down a little bit with the fact that I don't think I'm getting what I came into this book to get. I don't really think we're getting a whole lot of that whole I'm seeing ghosts before I kill them kind of thing. Like there's like the absolute briefest of things happening there. And I feel like I've been sold a lie a little bit. But saying that though, I am still intrigued by the story. I want to see how far Claire can get. And she has pulled a couple of clever moves so far. So, you know, and I wasn't expecting for some of this to be quite heavy. There is talk of like dementia. In the very first like 3 pages of the book, there's like child abuse as well. So things like that was just like, whoa. You know, it was kind of intense getting that, especially right out the gate too. I was like, okay, but intriguing. Like, this does have my intrigue. A lot of thriller books do. Even if I know that I'm not going to give it a really high rating, I will still see a thriller book through all the way because I'm 9 times out of 10 still really intrigued by the plot. It's just like very hard for a thriller for me personally to get all of the facets of a story right. Whether it's character, the writing, the plot, stuff like that, it really does depend. I think it has a really hard job conveying all of them and sticking the landing. So, I mean, I don't really read a whole lot of thrillers anyway, but I mean, I do like them in moderation. And I don't think this is going to be a new favourite. I'm kind of a little bit gutted by that because I did buy this when I was in New York. I saw this when I was in the Strand. And I was like, I need to buy something in the Strand because it's so iconic. So I did buy this from the Strand and I still have the price tag on the back because there's nothing else to say this was from the Strand. So I have that on here. And I should have worn my Strand t-shirt. Oh no, I'm not. I'm wearing my Winter Beam one still, especially since Spencer in half an hour. But yeah, a little bit of a shame, but I'm still going to finish it.
Hello! Hello, everybody! Thank you so much for joining today. We are here to do some Winterween sprints all together. Today's day 1. Thank you for joining us. I already see so many friends in the chat. Hello!
Guys, I'm so bored. I don't think I can continue on. I am 186 pages in, and like nothing's happening now. Nothing's happening. The whole seeing that ghost and stuff first, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And I still have 23 minutes left on this sprint. I think we're doing a sprint after this. And I have about, like 120 pages left. I don't care. I don't care. The intrigue has totally gone. Claire is a main character as well. She doesn't have the charisma for it. She really doesn't. And there's not a single secondary character who I even remotely like or root for. Now I'm just so utterly bored. This is going to end up being my first DNF of 2026. So this is probably going to be a traitor, isn't it? Considering I got a 2-star and it was a traitor, this could be a traitor. I'm gutted. I am actually gutted. I bought this at the Strand in New York with Gabby, who I'm currently doing these reading sprints with right now. I'm so bored. And I bought this from the Strand. I don't think I ever want to get rid of this though. It's from the Strand. Look, I can prove it. Look, it says right there. I got it from the Strand. So like, I never want to get rid of it. It's the same with, I have the Ghost Eaters, which I got from Shakespeare and Company, or Shakespeare and Co. in Paris. And I can never get rid of that book. And it was a fine book. I liked it, but I didn't like it enough to like really want to keep it. But I got it from Paris, so I'm keeping it. So, this is what's going to end up having to happen to this one. I'm bored. I'm so bored. I don't like it. I don't think I like it anymore. I'm taking it out. She's just, Claire is a main character. She's just rude. She is just rude. She's not even funny. She's not even charismatic. She's genuinely an absolute twat. She's a twat. I do want to see her get her comeuppance. I do want to see if there's going to be a downfall. But at the same time, I might just ask someone who's already read it. I might just ask someone like, what happens at the end? I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh, and it's got friggin' Janice Hallett on the front there. Author of The Appeal. I didn't like The Appeal. I'm sorry. Like, I really want to try and read all of these books so you know that I'm giving it my all. My 100% reading these books. I don't want to continue on. It's not good. I don't like it. Well, it's going to be explosive in the turret tonight because, yep, we have a DNF. And I do think that still counts. I think that counts as a banishment. Okay, I'm banishing. You look better as a ghost. If you're not a traitor, I will eat my hat. Right. I think my friends have sent me. Yeah, they've sent the photo. Oh, okay. Let's see if I've managed to get 2 traitors in a row. Could you imagine if we end it right now and I take home the $1 million prize? Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine if I do get $1 million if I get both traitors? Oh no. Okay, let's have a look. Oh my god! 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 Oh my god, I can't believe that. I got the second traitor in a row. I got it in a row. Oh my god! Oh my god. What the actual fuck? Yes, I found another traitor. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I'm telling you, my heart was actually racing there. I didn't expect it. I didn't think it would be. I genuinely thought they would have made something light as one of the traitors as well. I genuinely thought they would have made like one of these, like would get a dark one with Crypt and the Moon Spider and then something light. Oh my freaking god. Oh, you know what? It was looking so bad for me at the start of this game. It was looking so bad, but all we had to do was turn it around. All we had to do was turn it around. Oh my god. Why, yes. Congratulations on catching the traitors. Gloria Wilkerman thinks you've done a fantastic job at the first episode of TBR Traitors. Give it up. Give it up. I also got my channel members to take part in TBR Traitors, and I gave them the list of the 10 books that were going to be featured in this video, and I asked them which 2 they think will be traitors, and only 2 of my members out of 289 responses got both of them right. Only 2 people guessed both Crypt of the Moon Spider and You Look Better as a Ghost correctly. So a huge shout out to Hannah and Mikey, the only 2 people who got both of them correctly. Brava. Bravissima. Having said that though, I might have won TBR Traitors episode 1 in 5 goes. Who knows what the future will bring in the next TBR Traitors. Will I ever get a TBR where I don't find the traitors until the last couple of books? And what else have I got up my sleeve for the rest of the series to keep things spicy? If you enjoyed this endeavour, please do like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, leave all the comments down below and let me know what you thought of the first episode of TBR Traitors, and let me know if you watch the Traitors. I want to give a huge thank you to my channel members for supporting my madness. If you would like to join my membership, the link is down below. But I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.